Hello, Battle Pirates. Well, I'm here to give you a little tutorial on how you can reconstruct your base.
I'm all about that bass,
You're doing that on purpose, aren't you? I'm not here to tell you how to make your base the greatest, most impenetrable base on the face of the earth or the face of Kixeye, but I am here to just give you the ins and outs on how to get into your base, clear the screen out, save it as a separate base so you can keep your original, and that way you can have two different bases to choose from. And how to make a pinch point, which is the point where when the enemy comes in, they need to stop at a certain point and take care of some turrets and some defense fleets. And while they're sitting there, they're going to get pelted by your favorite weapons. You want to design a curvy channel where they have to enter to the inside portion of your base. And once they get inside there, it's harder to get turned around and get back out. And meanwhile, your weapons are going to be pounding them. Let them in your channel just a little bit, but then some point they should have to make a turn, and a 180-degree turn is better. If they have to go around a few notches, that's good too. But make a pinch point in your base where as they enter, you'll see what I mean when I take you into the screenshots. So you're going to make a template with a clear plate. I'm going to have you put in your turrets first because that's where it's going to determine where the pinch point should be. Then you can build the land around that. Then you can put all your other stuff out there. I also encourage you to build your base so that all the stuff is near the beginning so that they bubble right away and then they can't get out and come back in with a fresh fleet. Hello, Battle Pirates. Well, I'm here to show you how to redesign your base. So you go up to Command Center, and this is good for any level. I'm actually using my dad's 73 base, having him show us what his base looks like. Right now, it's with these jabs, it's become kind of weak, and it really, it's evolved through the changes that Kixeye has given us. And a lot of the changes are good, but this base is no longer effective. He has more tiles he could use, but we really don't know where to put them. So I urge you, if you really want to renovate your base, first of all, you can go to Command Center and Base Planner, and you could load one of two options that you've made in the past. And if you haven't, then I urge you to load to make yourself two kinds of bases. By the way, go full screen, you hit this button here. To zoom out, you hit the negative button here. Click to allow. There's also settings in your Battle Pirates game. You right click on the screen anywhere, pick settings, and then pick the folder tab, this third tab, and increase that. I've heard it suggested you put it to unlimited, or maybe just put it to a higher value. That makes your game store more information and run better. Like if a lot of things are going on, it won't glitch as much for you. That's a definite suggestion for your settings. Anyway, you're going to load your base. You could move a few things around easily, and to do that you have to be in move buildings mode. You can rotate or put it back, undo. There's stash mode. That's where you can stash all walls, which I always recommend after you've made some changes. Stash the walls and put them back accordingly. Terrain mode, that's just to move a few of these squares. You can see has a few extra. Red means you can't do that. There has to be 2 spaces between these if there's open water. And then it'll keep count for you when you're out of land. Yeah, there we go. It just says it right there. Too much land, remove 2 tiles. So you can see his base really needs a renovation because it didn't even use all the tiles. So we're going to clear all land, and we're going to stash all buildings and stash all walls. We just cleared the board. Now, you want to make your entryway on the bottom right or left, because on the top side, that's where someone comes in if they don't know what your base looks like. They might enter from the top to hide their ship better. Well, you can avoid making it easy for them because you don't want them to come in and then enter right away. You want to make them work for it. So put your entryway down here or down here. Now, I'm going to show you the most important part of my video, and that is skip the land and the design and where are you going to put everything. Don't worry about all that. The very most important thing you want to do is take your long range weapons and give yourself a pinch point. You don't even need to land there. You'll do that later. But that's the purpose of my video, is to show you that um, you can clear your board completely and then you can start finding a pinch point. I'm going to just throw one together just to show you the next level. So start with your javelins. In this case, that's the longest range weapon. I'm going to make, here I'm trying to point with my finger. I'm going to make this quadrant here a pinch point right in here, and then the shorter range weapons will be up in here. So as they enter in, they're going to want to slow down, or something's going to slow them down so that they're not just driving through, and then they're going to get pelted by these jabs. In fact, since the jabs are long range, I think you could probably get by with putting them immediately right next to each other. That makes that pinch point where they're all firing at the same time. Jabs. The number 2 means you had 2 left and now you have 1 left. You could stack them this way too, which saves on space. I guess it just depends on what you're going to do with land, but this is going to be the pinch point, the point at which you want to slow them down and make them stay in there by various ways, whether it be other ships and other weapons or a combination of both. Now I'm going to go mid-range. Howie cannons are mid-range, and I'm going to put some over here so that it's something that holds them back. So they'd want to come up to about here, but they don't want to see that Howie cannon firing yet. So they come up here and stop, and they try and bomb this, or they try and hit it with their weapons. And so these are not firing. These Howie cannons are actually going to just sit and take damage and probably not bestow damage upon your enemy. And because of that, you may want to put them a little further apart so you can put three rows of walls in between. Don't worry if that's 2 or 3. We can actually tweak when we zoom in a little bit. Okay, then gargoyle is next. We're going to have that be here. So as you can see, this person's going to, first they're going to have to be forced to drive through all of this for a long ways, and then start to make the turn to hit these. They're going to stop right in here, and that's right here is where you want things firing. If they do try to advance, they're going to drive into the line of fire of these Howies, and then you're going to put a third line of defense, which is this gargoyle, and they definitely would not want to drive into that. So you can see that you're trying to keep them from driving into this empty space where jabs don't fire. By the way, when you hit other people's bases, try to get there. Try to get there as fast as possible, because then you can just pull right up and just hit those jabs easily without having anything hitting you. Let's go to terrain mode and start building the guiding direction that you want them to enter. And don't be afraid, just put the tiles down and you can figure out the rest later. Like right in here, I want to force them. I mean, if you were playing Battle Pirates and entering this base, would you want to sit right here? This is why I skip everything else, clear everything, get it all out of there and start all fresh. And what you can do is save as, and you're going to call this a new name. Let's call it pinch point. Well, not ounce point. That's what happens. Oh boy, can I ever type. I'm sitting wrong, so pinch point. And I thank my dad for letting me film his screen as we do this together. Okay, we're going to overwrite the old one because that was like months old. Save the layout of what you have so far. That way if something glitches, at least you save some of your progress. It takes a little while, but while we're waiting for that to save, I'm going to reiterate. You want an entryway where they take damage as soon as they're in there. And they're either going to decide to turn and go back out, or they're going to use their anti-weapons, whatever they have, or they're going to use speed. And if they use speed, they're going to drive right into the rest of the fun. And that's where your other weapons are going to start, especially your short range weapons that have a lot of damage. You're going to want to have them drive right into that, and you can tweak it as you go. So now you got all your turrets placed, and you have your pinch point, which is where they start taking fire just on the first curve, and they're going to have to make a few turns inside there. Doesn't matter how you make your base, you just need a pinch point. Okay, and this next step then is to shut off the turret ranges. Make sure you have all your other land tiles spaced, so that you have at least, from your ops building, at least 4.5 squares to the outside.